Hello, this is the second in a series where I'm using clean language to facilitate myself, and it makes me feel rather nervous. It's not something I've been comfortable doing. It's always easy for me to find someone else to facilitate me. But so many people have said that clean language is great to use on yourself that I want to try it out. So in this video, I'm going to ask myself, when I'm feeling at my best this Christmas, that's like what? Well, when I'm feeling at my best, I'm feeling full of energy, and I'm bouncing and I'm getting stuff done and I'm buzzing about. And for me, Christmas, particularly when it's Christmas in somebody else's house, by someone else's rules, can be rather constricting, rather constraining. So it's not a natural place for me to be at my best. So if I'm holding all of that, I say, well, I'm feeling at my best this Christmas. Well, what I'm not going to be doing is sinking down into a chair and goggling at a TV screen. That won't do it for me. Trying to stay silent isn't going to work either. What I often do is just have a drink, and that makes me quiet and it settles me down, but it doesn't make me feel at my best. So when all of these constraints, you're in the house, you're with the people, they might not want to talk. When I'm feeling, well, when all of that, what would I like to have happen? Well, one thing I would like to have happen is I'd like to be able to have some interesting and meaningful conversations with those people. I'd like to feel able to talk about stuff that I find interesting. So a lot of what I find interesting is stuff that you hear me talk about: metaphor, language, the relationship between the body and the brain, cognition. Maybe we could do some experiments around how do different people think about different things. Could I try out some clean language models with them? Test out some bits and pieces. So I think when I'm feeling at my best at Christmas, I allow my curiosity to come to the surface rather than pressing it down. So what kind of curiosity is that? Curiosity that I feel it's got to be pushed right down when I'm in somebody else's house, their guest, and when I'm feeling at my best, it comes up and out and it pushes me forward, and I get really interested in whatever's going on in front of me. I'm interested in what's happening now, for example. It energizes me when I'm interested. And it reduces me when I feel I'm not allowed to be curious. So what's the downside of curiosity that people don't always like is a sense of nosiness. If there's a sense of being judged. So one thing that needs to happen probably, so if I'm asking my stepson about stuff, I need to really not be judgmental. I need to really be open to whatever he says as being okay. You know, it's natural to worry about young people, you know, will he get a job? What kind of job? What kind of career? All of that. And I've got a vested interest in him sorting his life out. And yet, in order for me to express my curiosity without pissing him off, I'm going to have to really push my judgment, my opinions about how he should be, put them to one side. Another thing that might be interesting might be to do some experiments around what happens in terms of where people sit and what kind of conversations happen if you sit close, if you sit face to face, if you sit side by side, all those kind of things. So I want the opportunity to experiment and be curious and to make notes. I definitely need to have a notebook with me so that when thoughts arise, I can jot them down. And when I'm feeling at my best like that, I feel my mind can engage with whatever's going on. I feel that my body can engage with it as well, that I don't have to sit still. So I need to make sure that I take with me the right kind of clothes to go out for a walk, no matter what the weather is. Because actually we're going to be down by the seaside, so it might be really nice to be on the seafront in the pouring rain. I don't know, I've never been. So I need to have the right clothes so that I can get out there and allow my body to move. I'll certainly take some sports gear as well. It might be I can get a run or something like that. And to feel at my best this Christmas, I need to not overeat. I need to be able to drink enough water. I need to be able to get the food that I think is good for me to eat. So, well, we've already planned that we're taking certain food with us so that we know we've got what we need. For example, for breakfast, we tend to eat different breakfast to most people. So, and when we eat a good breakfast with protein and vegetables, that makes me feel good. So feeling at my best this Christmas starts, it starts early, and it even starts earlier than that. Probably it starts with getting an early night, not staying up too late, not doing too much wild gallivanting. And the family want to, people want to feel they're letting their hair down, and we need to balance that with, I want to sleep well. When I sleep well, I feel at my best. So what I'm noticing is there's a whole balance, there's a lot of balancing between what I need and what other people will need. And for me to feel at my best this Christmas, I need to be curious about what happens if I say, I need whatever it is. I need to go to bed. I need to go home, whatever it might be. And sometimes that won't suit everybody. But yes, there is a whole thing about, for me to feel at my best, I need to be clear about what I want and what I need and the difference between that. And I need to be clear about what the others prefer. Because just because somebody preferred it last year doesn't mean they're going to prefer it this year. We're all changing from year to year. Our preferences change, our diets change, our exercise habits change. I need to be open to the fact that people may not want what they always did want. And to be flexible enough to fit in when it actually doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter to me, and I don't need to perform particular experiments on my human subjects, and I don't need to be doing particular things to do that. So we could be playing games and I could still be experimenting with what happens if I do this, what happens if I do that. And playing and exploring. Bringing a sense of fun into the whole thing rather than a sense of you must, take the pressure off in terms of duty and requirements and include more. Let me throw this in, let me try this, let me try the other, let me experiment. So for me, that's the kind of thing that I think I need. So to come back to the original question, when I'm at my best, when I'm feeling at my best at Christmas, that's like what I'm like, what I'm not sure which of those questions I started with. When I'm feeling at my best this Christmas, I'm like a mad scientist. I'm like Professor Brainstorm, building complicated experiments and not really caring what happens, but wanting other people to enjoy the fun of constructing it and seeing whether it goes bang or not. And just playing with the fact that we've got so much potential. And when you are at your best this Christmas, when you are feeling at your best this Christmas, you're like, what? It'll be different for you.